Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy III for the Nintendo Famicom system. It's time for us to head into Doga's Manor to see what Unei wanted us to come back here for. Come, Unei and I have something for you. And Doga and Unei are going to warp us to a new location, Doga's Grotto. Unei and I will be waiting at the end of this grotto. Now this grotto is kind of like a little maze. It's a 3-floor maze. Not a lot of treasures in it. But the enemies ain't too bad either. Here's the first enemy. We already ran into this enemy. It guarded one of the treasure chests in the underwater cave. In that section that had the 4 treasure chests hidden behind the one secret passageway on the bottom floor. And I just wanted to keep him in here just to remind you that if you're playing along, you can see this enemy here. So, enemies aren't too bad here. Nothing really special about them. Between a combination of Tupelo's black magic and Tangeweenie's summon magic, most enemies will go down in one round. So just the combination of the damage from those 2 casters will finish off all enemies here. So the real challenge comes from, I guess, just navigating your way through the maze, and then the bosses at the end of the maze. We could have come here before we did the Bahamut side quest. And actually might have been easier for Bahamut because we're going to get these items in here called curtains. And you use the curtain in battle and it puts the reflect spell on your character. So that would have been a way to cast Reflect on our party too, without having to transfer someone to an evoker and roll the dice on whether Odin's going to use the support ability, the wall spell on everybody. But the levels that we picked up from, defeating the 2 dungeons on the Flint Continent, Bahamut and Lake Dole, where Leviathan was, those levels are definitely going to help us out more in this area. So it's better than, I think it's just better just go do those little side quests, get a bunch of levels. That'll make this dungeon much easier. Because if you lose, some time, say it's like with me, I had to try it twice to defeat Bahamut. I wasn't able to, defeat him the first time because, I just had bad luck. But I didn't waste as much time as if I would have came here with low levels and not been able to beat the bosses at the end of this. Yeah, we got 2 bosses at the end of this, so it can be somewhat annoying, so I would have probably said it. Overall, it saved more time, I think, to just do it the way that I'm doing it here now. So, 6 chests total. The first 2 here are money, and then the last 4 are going to be those curtain items. So, here's the last of the new enemies on the first 2 floors. There are also 2 new enemies that only appear on the last floor, though. So, if you're hunting for monsters, to fill up your bestiary, you're going to have to do a little bit of farming on the last floor. So. But the first, first floors are large enough that you should run into the 3 enemies: the Nemesis, the Cyclopses, and those Paratons. Although, like I said, you should have had the Paratons already from that treasure chest, the monster guarding the treasure chest in the underwater cave. So, let's head on down the stairway here. And on the second floor, this is where bulk of the treasure is going to be. The remaining 4 chests are going to be here. The room, the first passageway leads to a room that's a dead end, but the second passageway leads to a room that has 3 of the 4 curtains, and the last one's going to be over to the right, along with the staircase down to the last floor. And that's the floor we're going to have to farm those 2 remaining enemies. So, I don't know if the new advanced versions have a bestiary that keeps track of the monsters you feed, and if there's achievements. A lot of games now have achievements where you have to do certain things and they give you gamer points. Usually some of them are defeat all the enemies in the game. So if the new Final Fantasy the new releases of this game have it, then hey. Gonna have to go do some farming here. So it's funny, we actually I'm work with the government, and we have mandated training we have to take every year, and one of them is security awareness, cyber security awareness, and they have like little you know, puzzles that they give you to solve, and if you get the puzzles correct, you get like little achievement trophies. So it's like they added like the little video game thing to government training. So here's the final two enemies. We have the Humbabas and the Ogres. Humbabas make me think of he's like a boss monster in Final Fantasy VI. He's this big green ogre. Now we just have a yellow ogre there in the front. The Humbabas are the cows with the wings in the back there. The bulls, because the bulls have horns. The bulls are male cattle and cows are the female. You know why bulls have bells around their neck, don't you? Because their horns don't work. It's a terrible dad joke of mine. So, you can groan. It's okay. But yeah, nothing special. I just kind of delayed this battle a little bit, just so, you know, I can have everybody's stats up, you know, get some time. That way I don't have to, you know, farm a second battle here, looking for, you know, this enemy group again, so. I figured to save time, I didn't want to do excess grinding walking around, because knowing my luck, I'd probably get into like 20 battles before I got more ogres or Humbabas. So, finish them all off here. Once we do that, we can head into that doorway there where we're going to have the bosses of this area. And hey, we got to level up just in time for the bosses. I'm going to want to heal ourselves up here because we have like 2 bosses in a row that we have to fight. So, both bosses are kind of similar, but there is one major difference that we have to worry about. So, let's head on in. Hey, it's Doga and Unei. You made it. Now, let's restore the Eureka key. Now, you must defeat Unei and I. You must fight us. We can't do that. They like shake their heads no. Listen well. In ancient times, there were weapons too powerful for humans. The weapons were sealed in Eureka. But now, their time has come. To work, the Eureka key needs mine and Unei's energy from our defeat. No, Doga and Unei, we'll never fight you. Enough, defeat us or die. And we fight Doga first. Doga's actually the easier of the two, mainly because we can be a little bit more offensive against Doga. Doga, whatchamacallit, he sometimes we use like a break spell, and that'll turn your character into stone, so you just gotta be careful for that. But other than that, he's not too difficult. Use your, well, I was going to say use your strongest summons, but I'm just using Titan, because I'm saving Leviathan, the stronger summon, for Unei. Unei's a little bit tougher. And for Tupelo, once again, Bio is your best spell against, because even though it's one spell level lower than Quake, remember Quake is multi-target, so it does less damage overall. So just hit with the bio, use your strong summons, and be prepared with either Baby Moo's Asuna spell, or if she gets turned into stone by the Breaker spell, use a gold needle on from one of your characters. If I get to see Leviathan there, just summon the big wave. So, you got turned into stone now. I'm keeping track of the hit points there. Like right now, Doga only has about like 400 hit points left. So I wanted everybody to have the same experience. So for this round, I just guarded with Fang, and then that way I can use the gold needle with Tupelo, and just have Baby Moo do some more healing. Fang took the most damage, being a melee class from that earthquake. So now Doga has about, 1,000 hit points because he took about 500 for that drain spell. So, but still only one more round, and Doga will be finished. So, and then we'll, unfortunately, we don't get a chance to heal between battles. So if you have a a devote or a white mage like how I have here, you want to make sure that they're healing all the time so that you are prepared for the next battle. Like I said, it's going to be right after this. No break in between. And Doga is finished off. And as you probably guessed, we're going to immediately have to fight Unei afterwards. Now, Unei has very similar stats, but what makes Unei a little bit harder is, one of the things that Unei does is, Unei can cast Reflect on herself. So you never want to use the bio spell on her, because she can reflect that with she can reflect the bio back on you with her reflect spell. The main thing here is she casts that tornado spell, which puts your character down to single-digit hit points. Very dangerous spell. So this is one other reason why I want to have a white mage or a devote to heal that character up. So with the Kiraga or the Kiraja spell, so both of those would be good to get whoever gets hit by the tornado back on their feet. Yeah, always want to be casting your strongest summons. That's why I saved Leviathan, most charges of Leviathan for this battle. And you also want to never use bio, because you never know when Unei is going to use the Reflect spell. So it's better just be safe and go with the Quake spell. It does only about like half the damage the bio would do, but you'll never have to risk, because Quake multi-targets. Reflect only reflects back single-target spells. So it'll never reflect back that Quake. And Reflect also never reflects back summons. So yeah, there's no... even if you had like a Bahamut, Bahamut comes out in his summon, he casts that Mega Flare. And even though we were able to reflect Bahamut's Mega Flare back on him when we fought him, just the way that summons work, even if an enemy has Reflect on it, Bahamut's Mega Flare will go through. So, but yeah, we took out Unei there. We got first time, so not bad at all. So the main thing is, it's not too bad if you really want to, but I'm like obsessive compulsive and have to have all my characters at the same levels and experience, so no one can be defeated at the end of a battle. The Eureka key is complete. We attain the Eureka key. Doga, why? Why worry? Our bodies may be lost, but our souls are not. That's going to be important, because their souls will, play a role later on in the game. Head to the Circus Tower. The Circus Tower leads to Eureka. Only you can stop Xande from harnessing the darkness. So you have to talk with both of them to get these two keys. Here, take this. It's the Circus key. It'll open the sealed door within the tower. We'll always watch over you. Please, save Xande. Unei, obtain the Circus key. So we're going to have to go through that Maze of Ancients, and that'll get us to that tower. And once we get to the Circus Tower, that's that big crystal tower, we have two choices. We can go further into the tower with the Circus key, which we're going to have to do, or we can take a side mission to the Forbidden Land Eureka, where we get a whole bunch of good gear and jobs. So the two ultimate jobs and basically the ultimate equipment in the game. We also get a chance to buy a bunch more of those shurikens. We found one of them a long time ago back in Gishel, back on the floating continent. That's only usable by the ninja. We'll be able to buy them. We'll also be able to buy extra copies of the level 6, 7, and 8 summon spells, Odin, Leviathan, and Bahamut. So that way if you're going to run like 2 summoners or 2 sages, which is what we'll be running, we have summons for both of them. We're going to have to reclaim our airship Invincible. We're just going to do a quick heal here. We'll be able to, we'll still get into some counters. So if you want, you could, I guess play riskily and wait to heal after you get back to the Ancient Labyrinth. And then heal before you enter the Ancient Labyrinth, but I just rather heal here, because once we go into the Ancient Labyrinth, we can heal up at the crystal. Because the crystal, remember, the Earth Crystal is right there as soon as you enter the Ancient Labyrinth, so I'll just heal there. So, now's a good time to stock up on our high potions. And we'll be coming back eventually to the Invincible. What we'll end up doing is we'll end up going to Forbidden Land Eureka, getting all that really good equipment, and then make a jump back to the Invincible here, and take out all the elixirs and stuff from the gold chocobo. Well, not the gold chocobo, but the fat chocobo. But that way we can come back and refill our high potions, all that stuff. Get ready for that final push into the Circus Tower. Because you have to do the Circus Tower, and then after that, spoiler, you have to go into the final world, the Doga world, which is kind of just one big boss rush. So we want to make sure we're fully stocked, refill all our high potions that we're going to use in Eureka, and then pull out all those elixirs. Once again, we have this really high encounter rate. We had 2 encounters right after each other, and so to avoid that 2 things, the transition screens there from blowing together, I just kept this short little harpy encounter in. So yeah, by this time, you know, these enemies are so weak, because you gain so many levels from when we first experienced them, when we the first time went to Doga's Manor. So, we already encountered all the enemies on the ground, on the floor outside, so we can head right into the ancient maze and fully explore it. So, we could have explored it earlier, but like I said, there was no point in doing that because we still need the Circus and Eureka key to go any further, so. Well, take care, see you in the next episode. Thanks for following along. Bye!